Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. On today's review, we take a look at the Hot Toys Avengers Infinity War Iron Man Mark 50. Today I'll be reviewing this figure in 6 categories: accessories, articulation, design, is it essential to your collection, functionality, and price. So for accessories, I gotta tell you, I feel like we should have much more. However, let's start with some of the familiar pieces. So the hands aren't anything new. We've seen these time and time again. Perhaps made out of a rubber material. The hands, or fingers rather, are very flexible, and you can see that it's angled so that it can give the effect that he's doing the blast pose. The other hands are articulated, and we receive 2 fisted hands. So this part here is a collar. The helmet on the figure is removable, so this part attaches so that it can cover his neck. And we see a Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt. I want to say that we've received this same head sculpt multiple times, if not something very similar. I believe it's the same that we received for the Mark 46 and 47. And then it's not movie accurate. This appears to be a younger Robert Downey Jr. In Infinity War, he looked more older. And a common theme with Hot Toys head sculpts is that it's expressionless. So this is just another Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt to add to the collection. Nothing new. And then we receive an Avengers Iron Man stand. So now let's take a look at some of the new accessories. So we receive this piece here, which attaches to his back. It's done very well. During the functionality part, I'll get into more about the inside and how this piece actually attaches. Aside from that, we receive a cannon, which is my favorite accessory thus far. It is done very well. And a metallic red, some gold and silver. I really like how the inside looks. And if you're familiar with DC Comics, the Beetle, they clearly stole this design from the Beetle. And you receive a smaller cannon, also done well. And that's it in terms of accessories. Really not a lot that came with this figure. Considering what the Mark 50 can do, what we receive in terms of accessories is disappointing. Throw in the fact that if you want all of the movie accurate pieces, we have to pay an additional $250 for an accessory pack. It makes the accessories that come with this figure seem very limited. So for accessories, I'll be scoring this a 4 out of 10. So I'm pretty sure as we're doing this articulation that you're going to hear my baby in the background, but the show must go on. So starting with the head is able to look way up. This is perhaps the furthest that I've seen a Hot Toys head go. So this is phenomenal. To get them into flying poses. And the reason that you're able to achieve this, so the neck and head move independently, and also if I can detach this, maybe it doesn't detach. Maybe I need to read the directions. Okay, I did not read the directions. I'm putting a lot of force and it's not coming apart, so maybe it doesn't detach. Not important if it does. I simply want to show you that there is a lot of space in between the head and this neck portion, which allows the head to go way back. So it's able to go to the end of the helmet. And it's also able to shift forward. So this is fantastic. Kudos to Hot Toys for giving us something like this. Moving on, So with the shoulder, you're able to extend it that far, which is very good. The shoulder's able to rotate a full 360. I'm going to stop right there. There's no need for you to rotate it a full 360. And just in case you're wondering, the shoulder pad is actually attached to the arm itself. So if you look inside here, there's a butterfly joint giving you about that much movement forward and backwards. Not a lot, but still good to have. So you do have an upper bicep swivel. No rotation at any other point except the wrist. Arms are, thought it was single for a moment. Arms are double jointed, bending in that much. So on the inner part of the arm, there's a additional piece. There is an attachment that allows this to move out of the place as the shoulder part may come in contact with it. So I'm glad that they incorporated that system. And the hand, it does go side to side. All right, so there is hinge up and down as well as side to side. So now moving with the torso, there are, or you can look at it as two separate pieces, the lower half and the upper. So let's start with the upper. So with the upper, you're able to get a decent amount of rotation, barely able to pivot back at all, barely able to pivot forward. Using the bottom torso, you're able to get it to crunch back about that much. Forward, really none at all. And you get a decent amount of rotation as well as pivot. So with the majority of Hottoys diecast figures, you are able to get additional articulation by stretching the upper torso, which allows you to put them sometimes in some cross-body poses. So I just lift the upper torso. This part here moves just to give you extra space and not to scratch the paint. So being that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and collapse it. Now moving on to the legs, right? Before we stretch the legs out to the side, there's a flap on both ends that can be extended outward. So the legs move out about that much. Now with the legs, you're able to pull them down. Not sure if it showed on video, but it does give you some extra range. So the legs are able to go out about that much. Kick forward that much, which is impressive. And it's able to kick back only that much. You can see that the butt gets in the way. So you do get upper rotation. No rotation anywhere here. Double jointed knees, bending in about that much. The feet barely pivot in any. Out about the same. You do get some upward movement. They go way down. And that's about it for articulation. So for articulation is what we've come to know for Hottoys. I just don't understand why at the boot or the ankle, excuse me, or the calf and lower, that this part doesn't rotate. It's no reason that it does. Well, I can't say it's no reason. There's no reason that it shouldn't rotate. So come on, Hottoys, let's catch up with time. You need to give us an extra point of articulation within the legs. So simply to recap, the head is phenomenal. The torso will do what you need it to do. We need extra points of articulation in the leg, and an extra point of articulation within the arms wouldn't hurt as well. So for overall articulation, I'm going to give Iron Man a 7 out of 10. So for design, Hottoys truly hit their mark. This thing looks fabulous. And I'm going to say that it is perhaps 100% accurate to the movie. So where they missed their mark would simply be on the head sculpt, as this is not the portrait of Robert Downey Jr. in Infinity War. But the Mark 50 suit, whew, it's a thing of beauty. So for design, I'm going to take a few points away because of the head sculpt. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 for design. So is the Mark 50 essential to your collection? If you're a Hottoys Iron Man collector, then the answer is of course. But what if you're not an Iron Man Hottoys collector? What if you're looking for the one definitive Iron Man in your collection? Is this it? Let's top off a few things first. Personally, I think that in order to have one standoff Iron Man figure, it has to be in its iconic red and gold, which this is. In addition, I feel that you have to have a Tony Stark head sculpt, which with this you do. And you have, not enough, I've already stressed that, but some cool accessories. And also, a lot of light up features. So what may separate this particular armor from a lot of the others is that this had an extensive scene throughout the movie and Infinity War. And right now, the MCU is on top of the charts. So this is something that people may gravitate towards. Even the person that doesn't collect Hot Toys figures who's now looking to add one to their collection. So for the non-Hot Toy collector is who I have in mind. And if you are thinking of adding one Iron Man to your collection, there's perhaps a few that I can think of. However, I feel with this particular version, you will not be shorted. So as far as being essential to your collection, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. So for functionality, let's start with the head and work our way down. So we're going to pop the head and neck off. So the top of the head is held in place by a magnet where you insert the batteries. As you can see, the cover of the batteries is missing. I did not take this off. It arrived this way missing. So I'll be contacting Sideshow for a replacement piece. Let's put this aside. So now the neck collar attaches simply to the inside of this area very easily. Then take the head scope and prop it on like so. All right, so now turning the figure to the side, we look at, or to the back. This is the area to where batteries go. As you can see, I've already removed this compartment. Simply looks like this and attaches this way. So once you remove this, you are able to gain access to the battery compartment. So moving our way down, looking at the leg. This is the third area to install batteries. Simply apply your finger to this piece and pull. And what will be exposed will be this area, and you are able to attach the batteries here. So what I don't like about the piece that comes off in the leg are these small pegs. It is very easy if you place these in the wrong place and apply pressure for this to break. So I'm actually surprised that Hot Toys did not use a magnetic system in order to detach this. So just be very careful when taking this off and placing it back on. Turning the figure to the back is the next section to where we're able to install the last set of batteries. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to take this off on camera. If you can see, there's a small groove right here to where you can stick your finger or apply some sort of object and remove it. So I'm having a hard time doing so. I'm actually going to use the tool that Hot Toys includes and see if I can use that to remove it. So here's the tool that I'm talking about. I'm going to place it here and just slightly pull. All right, so I'm going to have to come off camera in order to do so. All right, so I was able to do so. As I stated, simply put your finger in if you're able to, and then the piece comes off, exposing the battery compartment. And again, Hot Toys chose to use these pegs instead of a magnetic system, and I'm not a fan of this. So I'm actually not going to put this on, as there is an accessory that attaches to the back. So just continuing with functionality, I really like that Hot Toys has incorporated this piece. There's a hinge on the inside that you may not see on camera. So the reason for this is so that there's not a lot of rubbing between some parts of the figure. So as you pose and turn, you're able to move this part up or down if needed, just to give you some extra range of movement. So typically with Hot Toys figures, you're able to get extra, not sure if you heard the click, but you're able to get extra range by pulling the torso upwards, and you're able to get extra range by pulling the legs down. So you see that drop? That drop allows you to extend the leg further out. And there's also a flap that I like that you can lift up to get added movement. All right, so now turning the figure to the back once again, you have some flaps that you're able to open. And you're able to use this attachment. So very simply, there are pegs on the inside. You use those pegs and just attach them accordingly. It's rather simple to do. I didn't hear a click. I wanted to hear one. So that's attached and it looks very good. So the next accessory that we will attach will be the larger of the two cannons. So in order to do so, you want to take the figure's right arm. Maybe I should have, you know what? I'm just going to remove the wings just in case. So you want to grip the figure around the bicep area. You want to grab at the forearm and you want to gently pull. So once you pull, the entire forearm area comes off, leaving this exposed. So now you want to take the cannon, and I haven't tried this yet, so we'll do it together, and simply place it in like so. Okay, there we have it. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. So the next accessory that we will be installing, actually the last accessory, will be the smaller cannon. And in order to do so, you want to come to the left arm. You want to remove the hand. Once the hand is removed, you need to remove this piece here. So let's see how this is done. All right, so I'm able to find a groove. Sorry, my big hands are in the way. So I'm able to find a groove right here on the side. I was able to get my nail underneath and simply pull it off. Once it pulled off, you want to take these two pegs that are in the inside, match them to the holes, and simply add that on. Once that's done, you want to take the hand and apply it back to the figure. And there you go. So another section that I want to show you is the chest. You can actually remove this part. Simply grip the ends and then just hold the figure. I'm going to say at one of the harder points, which is here, and then just shimmy it off. And then that exposes this chest area. So typically I don't install batteries in my Hot Toy figures. It is too cumbersome. Hot Toys has to find a better method as far as incorporating batteries to use their lighting system. It's just too much. The head, both arms, and the legs. I don't understand why there's not a system to where you insert one battery, perhaps a AAA battery in the back, and that's able to light up the entire figure. So I do want to, however, show the accessories lit up. So I'm going to see at the end of the video if I do have the patience to install these batteries. So for functionality, something that I forgot to show was the articulated fingers. And the reason I want to bring this to the light is that they have improved. So you're able to collapse the fingers as well as the thumb. I felt I did a better job with the thumb the last time and nearly get a closed fist. So this is certainly an improvement. So for functionality, the shortcomings are the cumbersome process to install the batteries and not using the magnetic option that Hot Toys is used to using to remove some of the pieces. The pegs truly bother me. I'm pretty sure that some people will break theirs, especially if you're not used to playing or taking things off of Hot Toys. So for functionality, I'm going to give Iron Man a 6 out of 10. So for pricing, the Iron Man Mark 50 comes in at a whopping $407. You add in $20 shipping, and you're looking at a price point of close to $430. That is a lot for any action figure. I remember when Hot Toys Iron Man figures were costing at $225. Of course, that was for the plastic. We did see an increase to the die cast to around $350, but now they are steadily increasing. And for the price, let's see what he comes with. The answer is not enough. The fact that we have to purchase a accessory kit to add on an additional $250, and I'm pretty sure most collectors will buy it, that's going to bring this figure to $700. With truly no new takes on engineering, with no weapon effect pieces or innovation like we see with Mezco, this is ridiculously overpriced. So for pricing, I am going to give this a 6 out of 10. Now, is it a pass or a purchase? If you watch some of my other videos, you know that I collect nearly all of Hot Toys Iron Mans. So for someone like myself, it is a purchase. For a more casual Hot Toys collector, maybe not. I must admit it is a great looking piece, but does a great looking piece warrant the price tag? Since I'm a sucker for this, I'm going to go ahead and say that it is a purchase. So that will bring the Iron Man Mark 50 to a cliff score of 41 out of 60. Here's Iron Man standing alone. Here's Iron Man standing next to the Iron Spider. And here he is next to Thanos. If you hear some noise in the back, my baby is having a party by himself. So here you have it, the only 3 figures that I own from Infinity War. I will be purchasing the War Machine whenever it releases. More than likely will purchase the Doctor Strange. Aside from those 2 figures, I am not sure if I'll be adding any of the other characters from the movie into my collection, as I feel that I have them already in some sort of form. So thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop, and I hope to see you during the next review.